Herzlich willkommen zum zweiten Teil der Disney-Folge hier bei CX Tuning Hacks. Falls du jetzt dich neu einschaltest und du sagst, wow, den ersten Teil habe ich gar nicht gehört, dann halte hier an die Folge und geh direkt zurück und hör dir den ersten Teil nochmal an, weil da gibt Wilhelm von Rosen wirklich Insights, Tipps frei, ganz für dich zum Anwenden direkt vom Zuhören in die Anwendung, weil seine Tipps, die sind sowas von praktisch und auch in Storys verpackt, dass du genau weißt, wo du da jetzt ansetzen darfst, wenn du deine Customer Experience entscheidend verbessern willst. Viel Spaß! Kurz, die Folge ist wie der erste Teil in English. Enjoy! It makes a culture also authentic. And we are, let's say, if we move on in the present tense, we are trying to instill in companies a culture with a deep purpose, with a deep value set, and feel these values and activate behavior that is linked to an engagement of employees that do these things. You see the effect that it has on us, and we still know up to date what it means to deliver exceptional customer experience, we say today. So now Walt Disney was a pioneer also in delivering immersive guest experience. Let's say combine technology with analog world. Today we are facing exactly this challenge to make a guest experience better, not only through personal impact or human touch, but also to combine these two components. Is Disney still up to par in that sense?
I think with technology, definitely, because, for instance, they have a system, it's called the MyDisneyPlus, not to be with the streaming service at Disney, MyDisney. And it's an app that for the guests, when they go there, they download. And if you stay in a hotel, it's linked to a what's called a magic band. It's a bracelet that you have, which allows you to get into your room. It allows you to go into the park. The gates will open. It allows you to pay. So you don't need credit cards. You don't need a wallet. When you go to Disney World, you don't need a wallet. You just need your magic band. And you already can book in advance restaurants, even shows. You can reserve for attractions, although now that has become unfortunately all paid. It used to be for free, but now you have to pay if you want to reserve attractions in advance. But so that technology, at one hand, allows to make a very seamless guest experience. You can already book everything in advance, get everything, and you don't need to actually even go to check in at the front desk. You already do that online. You have your magic band. They send it to your house before you leave, and you go there, and you go straight to your room. And then your app, it will say which room number you are, and off you go. That technology makes it a very seamless and easy experience. So for the guests, so it's technology, but it does not take away from the nice
magic.
Yeah, the magic. And even it gives you also apps. It gives you games. For instance, when you stand in line, you can do actually games you can interact with things in the queue area via the app and via your bracelet. So it actually makes time go faster. And that's in Disney. For the guest, uses technology really well. And then for the company, it's also win-win because Disney gets incredible insights in the guests. They know in advance already what people's preferences are.
What I wanted to say, and I dive in, the concept of anticipation. It was not only in the Mickey Mouse movies that they, when they anticipate the movement, that the punch, it was also introduced and integrated into the guest experience. And now please continue to describe that because it was...
So for them, they know it already in advance, just from a logistical perspective. They know which restaurants are going to be busy because they see where people are making reservations. So make sure we have enough people there. We need all the foods and ingredients and products there. They can also, based on people previous experiences, and when people come back, they'll probably like to go there, or they might, and they see what people buy, what they buy, what time. So it gives them already to prepare in advance for people before people arrive, but also based on that, what we need to change in the future, what things work or do not work. It gives information is power, right? And it gives a lot of, and also, let's be honest, it becomes so easy to spend money, right? You don't need to have a credit card. You just, you show, ping, it's magic, you ping, and then So it's also a little bit of a trap, or in that sense, it's a mouse trap, right? But again, it's a win-win. It makes it seamless. Consumer insight, information, data. They can also will give you information, for instance, based on your preferences. They will send you messages if you want them to. Attractions where there's less waiting time, that they say, or you can say which attraction you like, and then they will send you a message. Right now is a good moment to go there because there's less waiting time. Or they perhaps also can steer you into attractions that no one is going to. So again, it's a win-win situation. So perhaps make sure you go to places. So all that, in that sense, yeah. So Disney uses technology, I think, in that sense, to its full extent. Yeah.
Let's say what we say, good customer experience has to reach the C-level, the C-suite. That means CEOs and his team. At Disney, it is already starting from there, and so easily technology can be benefit. The customers can benefit from technology because it's incorporated and designed, anticipate their needs.
Exactly.
Now, when we say 100 years back, I see where the magic came from, and I see where the company made the success. But there's also the rumor that out of this creative powerhouse had become a corporate money machine in that sense, and so that the magic is gone. What happened?
Of course, magic is gone. At the end, it's really in the people, again, the cast members that are the creative forces. Managers and CEOs come and go, but of course they have made an incredible impact. And of course, what we often see, a lot of the CEOs at Disney, and it's in that sense, as the saying French, l'histoire se répète, history repeats itself. We see it with the current CEO, and we saw it with previous CEOs that we had, for instance, and Disney, in that sense, is also cyclical. After Walt Disney's death in 1967, of course, it went a little bit in decline. It went an automatic pilot, and we just kept on. And because Disney was always going next level, but then they went steep, and then bit by bit, it started to go downhill until, what's his name? The CA came on board in 1984. What's his name? Shame on me. He'll come to me. But anyway, he came on board, and he created a whole renaissance of Disney at the movie level. That's when we saw the renaissance of all the classical, the Disneys, The Little Mermaid and Beauty and the Beast and Aladdin and Lion King. But also in the parks, we saw the parks going to a super high level. So he really saved the company. And I forgot, what's his name? But anyway, but then at a certain moment, at the end of the day, perhaps success and power can corrupt, and they become perhaps too full of themselves, and they really believe that they are gods and that they don't need other managers, or they don't need the guests to know what is right. And then actually it became, it went downhill, and that's very, very unfortunate. And that happened to Disney, and then actually he was basically kicked out by actually Roy Disney, not Roy Disney father, but Roy Disney's son. So the son of Roy is also called Roy. He at that time had a big role, so he got that CEO on board, but then he also found, he also then had him kicked out by the board. So you see that thing, and that we see currently also with the current CEO, Bob Iger. Again, he brought incredible when he took over after, did great things. For instance, with Pixar, he bought Pixar was of Steve Jobs, and Steve Jobs did not get along with the previous CEO, so they were supposed to do things together and they didn't. Bob Iger brought it back. So Bob Iger also started the whole idea with the parks in China, which were very successful, of course. So he did a lot of great things, but then also perhaps you have a little bit delusions of grandeur, and they lost touch, I think, with the guest, and they started also to focus a lot on the high end, on the premium guests, and forgetting the average, middle class, which actually made Disney the success that it is.
Families.
Exactly, family. And now we start to cater to hipsters and people, and forget the regular family. So I think that's kind of been happening now. And actually today, it was just news today. It was a big bombshell. Disney opened a Star Wars themed hotel last year, costing 6,000 euros for 2 nights for a family. And it's closed today. Or they decided to close in September. I could have told you in advance who's gonna able and want to pay 6,000 euros for a 2-night experience, which, by the way, was also not based on the classical Star Wars, but on the new Star Wars that Disney created, which, Perhaps it's not the same level as the, So in that sense, and sometimes you can think, you don't need a PhD to know that this is probably a product that will not work. So in that sense, Disney has been perhaps lost a little bit its way. And it's very unfortunate because, again, I have so much to thank Disney in terms of, I told you about my wife, but also my whole mindset towards excellence and guest experience and how to deal with employees is really, Disney has been my school. So I'm very saddened by what I see right now, that Disney, has become a little bit a money machine. Of course, there's nothing wrong with making money. Of course, it's a company, it needs to make money, and money allows them to invest and create even better experiences. There's nothing wrong with that capitalistic idea, but like everything, you can take to extremes and perhaps also forget your original vision being a family entertainment company. Disney was always very much in tune, in sync with what people were wanting.
Is this what we have today in still when we are working with new generations? You are working with them actually as the manager of Verliert campus here in Barcelona.
Yeah.
And so I have actually two questions aligned. The first one is, how would you interpret the new guest experience based on excellence? What is excellence? And maybe we can talk about this a little bit more before I ask you the other question. The other question will be a little bit more challenging. It's about staff and the ability to attract staff for our industry. So let's start with the excellence.
Yeah.
When you said before, we are on stage and we perform, I was also thinking in preparation of this podcast on my experience in the hotel, 5-star hotel. We had really superstars in the hotel, and or owners, for example, the Bulgarian family, when they ordered, let's say, simple room service or came to the hotel, you were like so nervous and you were like, oh my God, is this now one brother or the other brother? And how has the toast to be? And you were really on stage to perform, and you were so keen to make it look like, it's nothing, it's just a breakfast. But there was really this excellence is that, let's say, it has to do not necessarily with the golden chandelier or with the crystal glass. It has to do with this flow, this perfect making the things right the way they should be. Question mark?
Behind what I said, the backstage, right? It's always done behind the scenes, what the guest does not see, right? It's all the whole planning and preparation, having processes and procedures in place, good communication. And I always found the reasons when there were problems in any hotel or company where I worked was always the lack of communication, right? Have clear communication channels, open, transparent, open door policy. If not, it starts to come down, right? So for me, that is a key element. Good communication, good preparation. Failing to plan is planning to fail, as it says. So it's all what's done before, and then perhaps the last moment. It seems like this, as you said, seamless experience. Oh, here we have the breakfast, but what it took in the kitchen and the waiters in order to bring it up to the room. But that's nice. The guests should not be bothered. For the guest, that's for them. It should seem, it's just another day in the office kind of work.
But when often I talk about customer experience, and what the customer wants, and the customer wants to be, let's say, receive it fast, the service fast, personalized, we talk about hyper personalization. We are talking about this human touch, and that the perfection from today. Let's say what we aim for will be the imperfection of tomorrow. Also, in terms of talking about artificial intelligence, they will make the job really perfect, and we are human and make mistakes. And can that be incorporated in a types of this definition of excellence that we say it's a combination of a new interpretation of what is excellence? Let's say. When you say, for example, in the hotel that you are having here in Barcelona, how do you say to them, to the staff, excellent service? What does it mean?
For me, excellence in that sense is as old as time, regardless of technology. And thing is doing things perfectly or as perfect as you can consistently each and every day. For me, that is what excellence is all about. So it's about consistency. And if technology can help you with that, great. But for me, it's a classic thing, right? So you have to keep, of course, your people on their toe. Of course, the hotel, I can look at it now. Of course, I'm not directly now involved in managing the hotel. I helped with the opening and the pre-opening and finding perhaps a great hotel manager that we have right now, with some sales and commercial activities, but I'm not involved in managing the hotel, so I don't want to get there. But I do always, when I see the people, and I give them perhaps little hints of take good care of the guest, like a little baby. I always ask her, how many people do we have? Or today, what's the check-in? What's the occupancy? And great, and look at that family there. So I try to perhaps open indirectly, but of course now I'm not directly involved in managing the team. That's not my place now.
But you are directly involved in creating a new generation of hotel people. What is the message? What is the message? What is the mission, let's say, of a luxury hotel school?
If we go to Verliert, we really, as you say, we are focused on luxury hotels, restaurants, and retail. But I think really it's a balance at the professional, operational side. You have to have certain knowledge, and you have to know how, like I said, how to do a proper check-in, how to open a bottle of wine. You have to know your wines, you have to know this. So you have to have professional, operational knowledge, and we train people really well. And we have, I think, really nice, on one hand, there's the academic part, but it's really complemented with hands-on experience in our own hotels, our own restaurants. So they supplement it really well. So on one hand, you have that operational knowledge that you need. Again, information is power, but also then the human side. I like really at our school, we have this holistic approach, really looking at the well-being of the guest, but also the well-being of you. How can you make your guest happy if you yourself are not a happy person, right? So it's accompanying, I think, as a manager, we have to accompany our staff, make sure that they are the very best that they can be professionally, but also on a human level, on a personal level. We have to make them feel happy and appreciated, and that they can do their thing and let them be themselves. Because I know sometimes I super admire Ritz-Carlton, but sometimes for me, and the same can happen at Disney, right? You take things to an extreme. If it becomes too scripted, I think that's perhaps often, again, we need, if we have too much, things like, again, correct me if I'm wrong, in Ritz-Carlton, you all have to say, it's my pleasure, instead of saying you're welcome.
Yeah.
It becomes too robotic.
Yes, there was a story. There was a story I want to share quickly. After I left New York, I came back to New York to visit, and I stayed at the Ritz-Carlton Central Park. That was actually the hotel that I also opened and worked. And I come down, I passed by the doorman, and he said, good morning, Miss Amelung. Good morning. And then, of course, when I in the afternoon came back, he would have said, come back. He always did, come back. And one morning I came down and I went out. I looked how the weather was, and then I noticed it's raining. And then I went back and said, welcome back. And then I said, that is now too much. I just want an umbrella. Want an umbrella. But I know what you mean. It can tend to be a little bit phony, but I think they changed 2014 some regulations and some scripts that accepts, let's say, also mentalities and regions and adapt to cultural differences. So that was a change. I think when they also shortened the steps of service and these basics from 20 to 10.
12 or something.
Or 12, So I think they did also some modification.
So you have to find the right balance, right? You need process and procedures, but also let people be themselves, right? As employees, let them give their own spin, their own unique approach, right? So I think that's also important.
So what do you say to talents now that you want to attract to make the career with you? Are you telling them you have no flexible working hours, you have not the ability to work remotely, you are stuck in the hotel and you have to still do the old-fashioned way of serving the guests? What is your way to attract and to motivate people to start this career?
Well, of course, it's now a global issue, right? A global problem that hotels can't find people, right? Can't find staff to man their facilities. And I think we as an industry have to look, why is that? Of course, there's things beyond our control. Of course, And people, had to leave their jobs, or were fired, and people had to find their way, moved on to other industries, and now they made a career there. So why go back? So that's understandable. But sometimes also people even don't want to come back, even people that had no jobs, and I think that already started before COVID, right? That there was a certain decline and people were perhaps burned out, and we got a bad reputation or not as good as it could be. So I think we as an industry have to do a little bit of soul searching. What can we do better? And sometimes it is true. Do we pay properly? I also had colleagues from Disney that moved on. I had friends that went into banks and in financial services and said, Willem, I work a third of the time and I make 3 times as much. That is not right. Again, perhaps we cannot match banking, and that's manager level, but the same holds true for frontline staff. So do we always pay properly? Do we pay? So it's the financial part, but also do we pay emotionally? Do we give people a home? Do we make people feel recognized, respected? Do we offer them a career path? Or will they be stuck behind the front desk or behind the bar 10, 50 years to come? So of course, then people don't want to come back, or we have then this bad reputation. So I think there as an industry, we have to really think, and perhaps hotels have to think, hey, what can we do better there? Of course, we're a business, we have to make money. It's not la la land, but I think there are ways that we can make this work better. Or I read the other day about this fast food chain in the United States, Chick-fil-A, very, very successful, that they're now going for somehow make it work 4 days a week, 3 days off, but not 8 hours, perhaps 12 hours a day. But if people want to, right, they don't force it. And it seems that people, or 10, whatever, they made it work. So apparently there are ways that we have to perhaps rethink, reconfigure our industry also in terms of how we organize ourselves. And as I said, it's about payment. Do we offer proper training? Because sometimes nowadays, and even before, as I said, with Disney, it's kind of the exception, and perhaps there are some other, but a lot of hotels, they throw you before the lions and may the force be with you. We have to train our people properly, prepare them, give them a future, reward, recognize them. And again, it's not only investing, because as we saw with Disney, it pays back. It pays back in guest satisfaction, employee satisfaction. And that's, at the end of the day, that's another thing what I learned. Happy staff is happy guests. That's what I said at the very beginning. So if you take good care of your people, then
at the end, what we have to maybe also spread the word that the hospitality is still an industry where the magic happens in sense of lifestyle, in sense of life development. We have the coolest location. We have the coolest moments. They happen in hotels and restaurants. We are the creator. And if you are, for example, if you look at people where they want to invest at the end when they made it, they want to have a hotel. They want to have a nice restaurant. They want to invite people. This fascinating part of moments and this entertainment, this we have, and I think if we implement this also in our work, at least from my work, that is what I live, can be also part.
We have to sell ourselves better in that sense, do better marketing, perhaps. It's exciting, it's fascinating. It's not for everyone, of course. You have to be a little bit crazy, I always say, but it's the experience that I've had working in France, in Spain, in the United States, in Japan.
You have abilities to.
So how many careers offer that? And meeting fantastic people, colleagues and guests, fascinating all over the world. And also nice little perks that allow you to stay at beautiful hotels that otherwise you perhaps could not afford because they're part of your group, or you have connections. And so, there's a lot of nice perks, and never a dull moment. So, no, it's true. It's very exciting. It's very fascinating, but also we have to be it's also hard work, but we should not undersell that either. But it's very rewarding. I think it's really
rewarding, and then maybe also can give a career step when you are a little bit further to other industries. I remember the time when Apple expanded and opened all these stores and headquarters. They were hiring and searching for good people and managers and headquarter directors in hospitality company, because we have that hospitality gene in our DNA that I always say.
For sure. Yeah.
Walt Disney, he said, in bad times and in good, I've never lost my sense of zest for life.
Yeah.
William, at the end, I want to know your motto. What is your personal motto? Not to live what he said, Disney, this test of life is a sense of life.
Yeah. But you said, what is my motto or model?
Yes. Motto.
Yeah. I think for me, it would be, my motto would be doing well by doing good. I think that's kind of, you reap what you sow, right? So I always found that in life, if you do good, it will come back to you in a positive way. If I look now back on my career, sometimes it took a lot of unexpected twists and turns, but it all made sense at the end. And a lot of this happened because, perhaps people that I met along the way, and I helped them and they helped me. I didn't help them because I expected something in return. It was more, I try to be generous, right? I'm not saying I always have, but it was a natural thing to do. But so I found, if you do well, the good will come. It will come back to haunt you in a positive way. So I believe that kind of is my motto in life. And it's, and I see in that sense, I've been blessed to see perhaps the fruits of that in my life. Again, it's been a roller coaster ride, pun intended. We talked about Disney and attractions. So it's not been always a smooth, but at the end, I found that to be really my motto. Yeah.
I like that. And in a way, if I think about our relation, it's also been a long relation. We know each other really here in Barcelona, 15 years or something like this. And yes, you are living here in Barcelona, but you are traveling also back and forth to Holland. Same like me, always traveling back and forth from Barcelona, Italy, and Germany.
Yeah.
So I think this is also part of a new lifestyle that we have, all of us now, even though.
And for us comes very natural as hospitality people. That's very normal, right? Because I had my boss in January, hey, can you go to Lebanon next week? So why not? I also almost went to Hong Kong one day before, a couple of days before I was supposed to leave. Well, someone else went. But for me, of course, it's that's part of, as you said, our gene, the hospitality gene. So that flexibility, that international outlook, so the desire to travel and meet other people, going places.
And to connect easy with others, yes. The school is in Paris.
The main school, the main
school
campus is actually really funny. It's 2 metro stops from Disneyland Paris. So where I started my career, it now comes to full circle in Verliert. So it's literally, I can almost see the castle from the campus, almost. But it's a 10-minute drive, and we have the main campus there. And then last September, we opened our satellite campus here in Barcelona. So very exciting. And I'm in charge of that.
Excellent. So for whomever is interested to get in touch with you, I will put you here in the podcast and all your links. And then this was a streaming also here in LinkedIn, and people can connect with you also in this way. We are ending usually the podcast with some personal questions.
Ooh.
And so that is a choice, one or the other.
Okay.
So Frozen, Lion King, or Pirates of the Caribbean, where you go for?
You talk about movies or attractions?
Movies. Let's say where you.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Because all of them are also attractions in some form or shape in Disney. So sorry.
Okay.
What said Frozen?
Lion King. Lion King.
I like Frozen a lot, actually, to be honest. The Frozen 1, I thought it was a great movie. The soundtrack was also, Lion King soundtrack was amazing too. But I always like the fairy tale, the princess
the Pirates
aspect.
of Caribbean. I guess that is because you have a daughter, and then you were actually
to be honest, I even
Frozen.
I became a little bit crazy of Let It Go, even myself. I heard it too often.
See, I was free of this because I saw Pirates of Caribbean, I think, I don't know, 20, 30 times, all the parts. And even sometimes today, when I go into the room in the back and then I hear these noises, and then my big son, he says, I'm getting hooked again. I see one part. So for me was the Pirate of Caribbean.
Yeah.
So now when you go to your campus and you enter that fantastic bakery that you created and that I was French style, that I was amazed by, what do you take? Croissant or bocadillo? Bocadillo sandwich for
I'm more
Spanish.
a bocadillo guy. I'm more salty.
Bocadillo.
Although those croissants are amazing, I have to say. I'm not big into croissants, but those
super
are
dangerous. Super dangerous. You're a coffee or tea drinker?
Coffee. Although I like tea, I would a nice cup of coffee in the morning or after lunch, after a meal. A nice cortado is it's the best. Yeah.
It's the best. Traveling habits. Are you booking last minute or long time planned ahead?
I wish I could do it a long time ahead, but it's mostly more last minute.
That is the Dutch and the Spanish concept. Competing.
Yeah, I've become pretty Spanish now, of course, being 20 plus years in Spain. Yeah.
And married with a Spanish woman.
Yes, exactly.
Sea or mountain?
Oh, sea for sure. That's why I'm also here. Yeah.
Yes. Now we have also the option of the mountain here with the Pyrenees. They are just right behind us. Yeah. Chiringuito or bar near Prinsenkanal?
Oh, nice, eh? In Prinsengracht, you know your places. Yes. Again, the Chiringuito, nice with the sea view and hearing the breeze and hearing the waves. No, that's very soothing. Although I love Amsterdam too. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's hard. It's a hard decision to make.
Yeah, tough choices.
Both is really nice, especially also at the canals in spring.
Yeah,
that's very nice. B&B or boutique hotel?
Boutique hotel.
Boutique hotel.
I'm a hotel guy. Although I have to say that we've been to some nice B&Bs now with Easter as well. And perhaps I have to almost start rethinking that answer because we went to the Netherlands. We were in Maastricht for some days and we did a little escape in Easter. And we stayed at this B&B and it was 5-star quality. To be honest, they had amenities in the room. They had a coffee machine, with grinding coffee, the beans in the room. And the breakfast was a buffet that a lot of perhaps even 5-star hotels would say, they're really upping their game, I have to say. So, it's hard. I really, I'm almost now start to incline towards the nice brand, the very high of the nice B&B.
Yeah, and actually that fits to our experience that we had when we lately met. These small places that do all the things just perfectly. Yeah. Remember when we were saying, she was asking me, I had this shellfish allergy and she was checking my food and she was running after the waiter and she was saying, oh no, she has an allergy, and she was really proposing me other dishes, proposing me the desserts on that little presentation plate. Amazing. When you also had the choice between cake or cocktail.
Nice.
No? In the menu, not always the cake. No, it was really nice. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
You are Dutch. Camping or glamping?
I'm not a camping guy. No, I don't understand the concept that you pay money to lie on the floor, on the ground, on the grass. I just don't get that concept. So glamping for sure. Glamping for sure.
Okay. I just wanted to make that question. Paris or Barcelona?
Ooh, I might have my bosses watching here from Paris. So, ooh la la. But seriously, no, I have to say, aesthetically, nothing comes close to Paris. I think, objectively speaking, I think it's the most beautiful city in the world. But the lifestyle I have here, and of course, Barcelona is aesthetically also very pleasing. But the lifestyle here, it's more relaxed, more cool. The weather, perhaps Barcelona. Yeah, I hope my bosses will forgive me here.
If we could find maybe the agreement and say a new trend is anyway to combine it. No, it's a very good combination. Paris and Barcelona, or also Berlin and Barcelona. This is my actual nice combination, or Milan.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Willem.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
That was
very nice.
Was really hopefully also insightful for the audience.
Yes.
This recording will go live on the podcast, even though the podcast is a German podcast where I talk about customer experience, but again, this English version will go in live there. Hope to see you soon.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure, Peggy. And if people want to reach out, put them in contact with me or connect with me via LinkedIn. I'm happy to continue the conversation. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Happy
Thank you,
weekend.
Peggy. All the best. Yeah, you too.
Es hat mich sehr gefreut, dass du heute zugehört hast. Vielen Dank. Wenn du mehr wissen willst über das 1:1 Customer Experience Coaching und Mentoring Programm beziehungsweise über die Seminare, wie zum Beispiel Briefing Customer Executive Modus, dann geh einfach auf die Webseite www.amelung-partners.com und wenn du Teil unserer CX Community werden willst, dann klick einfach auf LinkedIn CX Tuning Hacks oder auf Instagram bei Amelung und Partners dich ins Profil ein. Bis zum nächsten Mal. Stay tuned für deine Customers, deine Peggy.